Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So besides the fact that this is like the third time I've tried to film this video today, can we just talk about the elephant on the porch here? My makeup is not going good today. Anyways, this is going to be my bi-weekly makeup basket, and if you've watched my last two bi-weekly makeup baskets, you know that I've kind of been trying to do some themes with my baskets. The first one was the all MAC basket. This last one has been the loose powder products, and the next one is going to be all Wet n Wild products. Except for the things that I've said in the past that are always in my makeup baskets, things that I always reach for, things that are in projects and things like that, I'm going to be using those. But as far as products that I pick to put into my basket for the week, it's going to be based on a theme. So I chose to go with Wet n Wild this time, and I'll show those products at the end. We're going to go ahead and go through the things that I've been using in the last week, and I will start with primer sprays and things like that because I've been using some different things in the last 2 weeks. So we'll go ahead and start there, and then I will go into the products that I've picked for the last 2 weeks, as well as some other things that I've kind of been just incorporating into my basket in the last 2 weeks. So the first thing that I've been using is this Hard Candy Sheer Envy Hydrating Primer Mist 12-hour electrolytes, energize and hydrate skin. It's oil free. It smells like coconuts. I really enjoy this. This is a really nice moisturizing primer spray. I really do enjoy it. But during the Ulta 21 Days of Beauty, I did pick up the Smashbox Primer Water. And I wanted to try this, but I thought it was a little too expensive to purchase. The travel size, I didn't know if I wanted to spend $10 just to try it out. I'm glad I was able to get it on the sale. It was $16, regular $32, and I've realized that this smells just like MAC Charged Water. It performs just like MAC Charged Water, and I think the charged water from MAC is $18 to $20, and this is $32 regular, so I was glad to get it for $16. I have been using this as a setting spray, though. I know it's not designed for that, but when this is gone, I will switch this over to a priming spray. The primer that I've been using is the MAC Strobe Cream. I've really been enjoying this, so I've been using this. Want to use this up. This is in my 2016 makeup use-up goals, so going to finish this to completion. And I have been using 4 different foundations other than the loose powder foundation that I pulled for this basket. So I have been using, and what I'm wearing today is my IT Cosmetics CC cream. You can see I'm almost finished with this. A lot of times I was mixing it with this MAC Face and Body, which I've also made some progress on. I'm right about probably here, and you can see where my last line was. So I've been using these two together. I use this on its own today with one other thing that I'm going to go ahead and show you. So I've been using these two, and in the last basket I didn't get a chance to use this MAC Mineralized Moisture Foundation, and so I've been using this with powder. I really like it. It's very, very dewy without it, so I do have to powder this down, but other than that, I've really been loving this, so I'm going to go ahead and keep using this in the next basket, as well as the IT Cosmetics and the MAC Face and Body, because I want to get those finished. What I've been using most recently is the Rimmel Lasting Finish 25-hour Skin Perfecting Full Coverage Foundation with Comfort Serum, and I love this. This lasts all day on my skin. It just looks absolutely perfect, doesn't look too cakey, and I don't get oily with this, so I've really been loving it. As far as the foundation, the powder foundation that I pulled in the last basket, the Blemish Ready from Bare Minerals. Oh, look, you can see me. And this is in the color Clearly Pearl, and I used this by itself one day and it broke down absolutely terribly by the end of the day. So I don't think that I like powder foundations, at least not this one. So what I did today was I took this and I put this all over my face to set the CC cream, and that's how I plan on finishing this up. And I am going to leave this in my basket to go ahead and finish this up. I don't know if you can see, but there's probably about half. I will try to mark it in the back just to see, where I'm at and how long it takes me to go through the rest of this. But this was brand new. I opened this when I started this basket. So I'm going to go ahead and continue to finish this as a setting powder, and that's it. But what I was using as a setting powder is the e.l.f. High Definition can't speak, high definition powder, and I've really been enjoying this. Now, what I've been doing with these baskets is really using it as a platform to see what works for me and see what doesn't work for me, what I like and what I don't like. And so, though I like this product, I'll show you how much I have left. There we are. Though it does really mattify me in the morning when I use this as a setting powder, what I have found that I don't, let me get it right side up. What I don't like about this product is using it to touch up during the day or later on in the day when I have a little bit of oil on my face. Maybe if I blotted that off, which I haven't tried to do, maybe if I blotted that off and then put down this powder, it wouldn't be so bad. But this just sits on the skin. You can totally see the powder. It's like ghost white. It doesn't sink in at all when you use this as a touch-up powder, so I don't like it for that. I'm going to go ahead and pull this out of this basket until I finish the Blemish Ready Concealer, and then I may pull this back in, or I may try to choose something else to use in the meantime and then pull this back in later. But to save space, I'm going to go ahead and take this out. As far as concealers go, I've been using my two MAC Pro Longwear concealers, getting down to the nitty-gritty on these, getting some good use out of them. Also, my MAC Studio Fix in NW25, I've been using this as a corrector because it is so orangey peach. I've been using this underneath my eyes. And what I did today was I used the Bare Minerals Concealer in Well Rested to set that. But what I've been using is my Maybelline Fit Me Powder in 110, which is in my 5 by Cinco de Mayo or 7 by Summer Solstice. And so I've been using this. This is what this looks like. I know you can't see the powder in there, but I did use this today. I used this on the day that I used the Blemish Ready Concealer as my foundation, and I really didn't like it, but I think that's just because it broke down with the rest of my makeup. And what I noticed with this is, you can't see it, but it is a little bit patchy in here, and I don't know if it just got really cakey with the other two concealers or what, but I do want to keep trying to use this, but I'm going to pull it out until I'm finished with my 110 Porcelain Maybelline Fit Me powder, because that is in a project and I want to use that up. I don't want to be using this over that, so we'll try that again in the future. As far as, we'll go with bronzers next. I did pull two bronzers for the loose powder. This is the Wet n Wild Ultimate Minerals Bronzer, and I have it in Amber Glow and Ginger Glow. And my husband felt that these were a little too harsh when I used them. I really like them, but I don't know if I like them enough to keep them in my collection, but I'm also afraid to let them go because they don't make these anymore. So if I do like them, I don't want to get rid of them. So what I think I'm going to do is I'm going to leave them in this basket because I am doing Wet n Wild, so this will kind of fit. And we'll see how this goes. I'm not going to swatch these just because they don't show up really well in a swatch. But I don't know if you can see the colors. They're really nice. I'll go ahead and try to do it in a swatch for you. I think this is Ginger Glow. I don't know if you can see that. Yeah, see, they don't really show up really well in a swatch. This is Amber Glow and this is Ginger Glow. So we'll keep giving these another shot in this basket and see how that goes. The two bronzers that I left in also at the last basket were the MAC Give Me Sun and the Cabana Bronze from Kardashian Beauty. I'm going to go ahead and take these out. I really love both of these, but if I leave them in there, I will probably use them all the time. I didn't actually use this one as much, but I did use this quite a few times. So I'm going to go ahead and take those out for now. And another reason why I'm taking those out is because during this basket I went ahead and pulled out this Buxom bronzer, and it's their Hot Escapes bronzer in the color Maldives. And the reason why I pulled this out was because I was tempted to get the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer, and while the colors are not even close, I did see the butter bronzer, I smelled it, and it immediately reminded me of this. So once I realized or thought that I don't need another bronzer, I was like, but I really love the smell. And then I said, but I have this bronzer and this smells exactly the same. So I've been using this. I'm wearing it today. I'll go ahead and give you a swatch. And that is right there. And so that is the Buxom Hot Escapes bronzer in the color Maldives. And Ulta now carries Buxom, and I do believe they have this bronzer. So if you're interested, pick that up. It's a really, really nice bronzer. I love it. As far as blushes, I left in these two blushes. This is the MAC Mineralized Blush in the color Petal Power, and this is the MAC Powder Blush in the color Royal Sunset. Love both of these. Got a couple of uses out of these in this basket, but I am going to go ahead and take them out. And I have my Tarte Exposed that is going to stay in my basket. I like to use this on the backs of my cheeks and put a pop of color on the apples. And I also like to use this when I just don't feel like using anything else. So I'm going to go ahead and leave this in. My Rimmel London Catwalk or Autumn Catwalk Blush. I've been trying to pan this, so I did get a little more progress this week. I've been using this pretty much the last couple of days. I do have it on the back of my cheekbones today, and on the front of on the apples of my cheeks, I have this Bare Minerals blush in the color Beauty, and I do have a full size of this as well that I'm just going to go ahead and put it. That is the blush right there, and it is not picking up as pigmented because of the lighting, but I really did enjoy this blush, so I am going to go ahead and keep this around. But what I did notice is it is very similar in color. Actually, no, it's not, to the Autumn Catwalk blush, but it's really not. I know it looks like it even on camera here, but in person, I assure you, they are quite different. So I'm going to go ahead and leave these two in my basket. Go ahead and pull out the Beauty, but I am going to keep this. I just don't know what I'm going to do with the large size because there is quite a bit of product in here, and I don't know that I need that much. The next blush I had that was a powder blush is this Bella Pierre blush in the color Desert Rose. And so this is a really, really pretty blush, but I only used this one time, and it's something that I hadn't used up until this basket. I did get this in one of the subscription boxes that I was subscribed to once upon a time, and so I've realized that anything that I know I'm not going to miss in my collection or that I really didn't care for — I apologize for my nails, by the way, I need to do them today — I need to be brutal. I need to just get rid of this because I will hang on to it forever and just keep looking at it and say, wow, that looks pretty. But I also found, speaking to the finding what works and what doesn't work, that I like powder products, loose powder products are really hit or miss for me because it's just not my favorite form of makeup. I like the easy go-to, already pressed in a pan. It's just easier and not as... doesn't take as much work sometimes. So I'm not going to keep this around because it is a little bit more work. It is messy, and I'm not going to miss it. So I am going to go ahead and get rid of this, pass this along. So as far as highlighters go, I had kept in the mineralized skin finish in the color Lightscapade, and this is what that looks like here. You can see that it's a little bit of a white gold. Reminds me a lot of, as I said before, Kat Von D Thunderstruck and of MAC's Vanilla Pigment, just in a more subtle form, but it's absolutely beautiful. But I am going to pull that out because I do have a couple of highlighters that I'm going to put in this basket. This next one that was not in my basket last week when I picked my products, the Makeup Revolution Vivid Baked Highlighter in the color Golden Lights. And I did pick this up from Ulta because I had a coupon and I was in there to get something else and it was on sale. So there is that right there. Beautiful, but I am going to go ahead and pull this out. And the product that I pulled for the loose powder highlight was this Sonia Kashuk Grand Bazaar Exotic Crystal Illuminating Loose Powder. And I know you're not going to be able to see this in the swatch, so I'm not going to swatch it for you, but I am going to try and get some out. And this is what the powder looks like. I am going to, I guess, try to Can you see that on my finger there? It's really very, it's a lot of sheen because it's a lot of a glittery type product, but I really did enjoy this. I am going to go ahead and keep this in my collection for now, and we will see what I do with it in the future. Okay, let's move on to eyes. I will go ahead and start with the Bare Minerals shadow in the color Soul that I pulled for this basket. And this looks like a cream, kind of white in the packaging. I don't know if you can see that on there. And it's got like a sheen to it. It's kind of nice. I'm actually wearing it today over top of my Industrial Pearl Glide liner, so it kind of muted that down a little bit. I did enjoy this on the lid by itself over top of my Mally shadow stick in the color Rosy Taupe. But I don't know how unique this is. I am going to go ahead and keep this in my Bare Minerals little collection for a little while and kind of give it a shot again and just see, you know, in the future if it's something I might want to get rid of. But for now, I'm going to keep it. I did, you know, enjoy using it. This is the MAC pressed pigment in the color Blue Willow that I left in from the last basket as well. I actually thought that I was going to get rid of this. Even when I put this on my eyes, I did it with a warm crease, like a warm brown in the crease, and this on the lid, dry and then wet and then dry a little bit more again on top of it. And as I wore it throughout the day, I caught my eyes in the mirror a couple times and I was like, oh my god, this is so pretty. Like, I really did enjoy it. I really liked it as I wore it throughout the day. So I am going to go ahead and keep this with my MAC Pressed Pigment collection. As far as this MAC Au Nature, I was going to be a little bit brutal and go ahead and get rid of this too, but I did find a nice look that I was able to use some greens with this, but you can't distinguish this as being in the look. It just gives a nice base. What I thought I would do is, because this is so nice and creamy, and I know that I bought one MAC shadow to go with this because of a look that a MAC girl was wearing when she did my makeup one time, I'm going to go ahead and use it with that shadow at least and try it another couple of times. And then what I might do is get rid of one of maybe my color tattoos that is a dark green color from when they came out with that Forest collection or whatever it was, and get rid of that because this is really nice and creamy. And I really do enjoy this, and this was kind of a pricey product, so I think I'm going to end up keeping this one. As far as pigments go, I did use my MAC Lily White pigment once. I used my Rose pigment once, and I did not get to use the Kitschmiss pigment at all. Again, this comes down to just being a little bit cumbersome or difficult to use. I'm going to go ahead and give you some finger swatches of these. This is a swatch of, this is Kitschmiss, this is Rose. It's a little bit difficult because I didn't get a good swatch. And this is Lily White. So I'm not getting rid of any of those, but I am going to keep out my Kitschmiss pigment and try and use it in this basket since I wasn't able to use it. And I'm just going to go ahead and put these two back. I was able to find one look that I really, really loved this last 2 weeks, and this is with my Rosy Taupe by Mally and my MAC Vanilla Pigment, and I'm going to go ahead and show this to you. Okay, so this is the Rosy Taupe. And I'm going to go ahead and show you. I would put this all over, the Rosy Taupe all over the lid with a brown, like a warm brown in the crease. And then I would go ahead and go over the Rosy Taupe with MAC's Vanilla Pigment. And it just, and you're not even going to catch how gorgeous this is. It would just make this super pretty, like taupey, pinky. It's just, some lights it's pink, some lights it's golden, some lights it's bronze. It's just super beautiful. I was wearing this several days this last 2 weeks. Nothing else really stuck out to me. I did have some eye looks that I did enjoy, but this was a definite favorite for me these last 2 weeks. And so I just wanted to share with you a little bit of progress that I had on my Physicians Formula quad. I was able to hit pan on this color, which I was using for transition, and now I've kind of switched over from Heaven in my Too Faced Naturalized palette to this shadow for my brow bone, just to try and hit pan on this so I can have pan, at least pan on all 4 of these, because I did want to hit pan on as many shadows as I could this year, as well as this is a goal of mine to try and finish up this palette, specifically these 2 crease shades here. So once I hit pan on the things that I want to hit pan on, I will go back to using these for the crease. And just to show you real quick, I did pull in a couple more crease shades here. This is Max Omega. I use this in the crease, and then I also use this color here, Mac Ho, which I actually have in my crease today, so it's a little bit more of a purpley brown kind of color in the crease there. So that was really nice. Those are 2 transition shades that I was using. And one last thing for my eyes that I did not pull in this basket. This was given to me as a gift for hosting a party for my friend with Unique, and this is one of their Splurge Cream eyeshadows, and this is what it looks like. It's a lot more purple in person, but it's got a lot of purple, silver, and kind of taupiness to it. So this is what that looks like. And so that is that shadow right there. And I did use this once this last 2 weeks. So there's that. And so that is everything I've been using for the last 2 weeks, and I'm going to go ahead and show you the things that I've pulled for my Wet n Wild basket. There is quite a bit, but like I said, I'm really trying to find things that don't work for me that I can get rid of. I haven't really been too successful yet with getting rid of stuff, but I do intend to try and find things that I don't like and just immediately get rid of them. So I'm pulling a lot more, which makes these videos longer, so I do apologize, but I'm pulling a lot more just to try and get use out of more and get more out of my collection if I don't like it. So rather than taking a longer period of time to determine that, I'm trying to pull quite a bit and use as much as I can to determine what I don't like. So now that I've gone through that huge long-winded explanation, let's get into the things that I have chosen from Wet n Wild for this next 2 weeks. Okay, so the first 2 things I've chosen are foundations, and even though I'm going to have those 4 foundations, I wanted to give this a shot and just see, because it's kind of been hanging around for a while. These they don't look as dark on camera as they do in person, so I'm not quite sure about these, but I do have Fair Light and I have Light. So I'm guessing Fair Light's going to be the best. I'm going to start with that. I'm going to give the Formula a test, and we'll see, and if I don't like them, these are both immediately going out. So those are going to be 2 foundations that I'm going to try. I also wanted to give this Wet n Wild Fergie Center Stage Collection in the color Pedestal. This is that translucent setting powder. I want to try this underneath my eyes after I use my 110 Maybelline Fit Me powder, which I don't anticipate finishing, but I guess I'm going to do an even mix of the both of these. I wanted to try this out because I do have the NARS Crystal Light Setting, whatever that is, Illuminating Crystal whatever, from NARS in the press form, and they say that this is a lot like that. Wet n Wild did keep this around. They just put this in regular Wet n Wild packaging. It is no longer in the Fergie line because they don't have the Fergie line anymore, but I am going to go ahead and try this. As far as blushes go, I, believe it or not, have never tried the Wet n Wild Pearlescent Pink. I've had this forever. I have tried their Heather Silk Blush, which is a more pinky shade, like a bright pink. Really enjoy that. I know Abby from Make Life Your Runway has been using this recently. I think Shaylee from Shaylee D has been using this as well. And is it Shaylee D? I know it's Shaylee, but she's been using this as well. Very pigmented, I know, but I do want to give this a shot and see how I like it. And then I have their 3 ombre blushes. I have In a Purple Haze. I have the Princess Daiquiris, which is the more peach one. That one was more lavender. Maybe this is a little more pinky because this is Mai Tai Buy You a Drink and this is a little more peachy. So this is like peachy pink. This is more on the peach side. I think you can see it in the viewfinder more than you can in person. So there's those as far as blushes go. And as far as highlighters go, I have these three. They're Geometric Highlighting Powder. This is where Dreamers go. And this is more like their icy kind of white kind of highlight. This is the Sun Ceremony, and this is going to be the more gold kind of highlight. And this is the Desert Explorations, which is their more pinky kind of highlight. I also pulled this Mega Glow Illuminating Palette. This is in a new formula. I had the small one in the tin. The pigmentation was not good. I actually just recently decluttered it because I hadn't used that, but I've had that forever. So I went ahead and pulled that out, swatched it. It was just horrible. So I wanted to see how well this one did because it's the exact same layout, except they seem a little more metallic than the others did. So we'll see how this does. And then, of course, you know I had to pull out my Hollywood Boulevard, which they did finally come out with these in the regular packaging as well, which I'm so happy for. I'm glad they didn't go away, but I did buy up some backups, even though I probably will never go through this. So, there's that. As far as bronzers go, I went ahead and pulled these two. This is the one in Goddess that I have used very recently. Wanted to pull it out again. It had that kind of reddish undertone to it that kind of makes you look a little sunburned, which is a really nice look I like. This is the Princess bronzer, and I think this is a lot like Park Avenue Princess, so I want to compare the two of these together in the next basket in the next 2 weeks, so I'll go ahead and do that at some point. And then the rest is lip products except for nope, eyeshadows. So we'll go ahead and do eyeshadows first. And so you guys know that I am panning my Comfort Zone palette. So this has been in my basket always, and it will stay there obviously. So I'll be using this for eyeshadows this week. And Abby from Make Life Your Runway has really inspired me with some really bright, fun pink and green looks, and I've just been loving her pink and purple looks. So I went ahead and I pulled one of the palettes that she's been using, and this is the Wet n Wild and Temporary Solutions. And I might go ahead and pull one of the other palettes as well to go along with this, just to have some purple colors in here as well. But I'm really excited to use this, get some really fun pink springtime looks out of this. So look forward to using this. And this is something that I searched for forever, and I've had for like 1.5 years or 2 years and haven't even used. This is the Trio in the color The Gilded Age. It's really, really pretty, and the packaging is brown. Gorgeous. Can't wait to use this. And then, of course, I have the Wet n Wild Vanity palette, which I'm really excited to use. And I'm really excited to have this transition color here, so I can put away my MAC palette that I've been using a couple of colors for transition shades for, and go ahead and use this. And I really love that this has like a almost maroon look to it, but it's like a really deep, deep chocolate kind of brown that's got some red in it as well. It's got some red in it as well. Sorry, my computer screen just shut off, so I didn't know what was going on. So that is that. And then as far as I do have an eyeshadow primer that I've been using, but I wanted to go ahead and pull this Wet n Wild Shimmer eyeshadow primer and see how well I like this. And the rest are lip products, which I know are just crazy, but I wanted to, like, again, see what I like and what I don't like and kind of get rid of some things, particularly in the lipstick department, because I have a lot. So the first one that I pulled is this color in 967 Dollhouse Pink. I probably won't get much wear out of this, but I did want to at least maybe wear it once. This is not going to be a good thing for the lipsticks that are in my 16 and 2016 challenge, because I'm going to be wearing these this week, but hey, it is what it is. This is 901B in Think Pink, and so this is a little bit more of a mauve-y kind of dusty pink, so I look forward to using that. And then this is the color in 903C, Just Peachy. You can see how much I've used this because you can see how high up the other ones were. Really, really enjoy this. This is a dupe for a MAC lipstick, and I can't remember which one. But These next two are a little bit older. These are the Mega Shield Lip Color with SPF, which is long expired by now. But this is in the color 971. It's a girl. And I swatched that, and that looks really pretty. And this one was really, really, really pretty in the swatch, so I wanted to try and use this. This is 373 in Pink Champagne. So there's that. And then I pulled two of the Fergie Wet n Wild lipsticks, and this is in the color FOMO. And this is a nude shade, and then also the color in Fergie Daily, which is a little bit of a darker nude. Both beautiful colors. I even have Bebot Love, which is also a nude, but I wanted to pull these two and give them a go. And then this is the Wet n Wild Mega Slicks Lip Gloss in the color 576A Rose Gold. So I'm looking forward to using that. So that is it for my bi-weekly makeup basket. I feel a little all over the place sometimes when I film these. I think they're a little too long. I think that makes me feel a little insecure, but I am pulling so much in my baskets, and oh God, I just love playing with makeup. So let me know what you guys think. I know Ashley from Love, Health, and Makeup said she loves my long videos. I just feel super awkward in these videos. So just give me your feedback. Let me know what you think. Tell me what you like, what you don't like, and yeah, a little sidebar I did want to say that I forgot to say in earlier in the video when talking about finding what works and what doesn't work for you. It's really, really cool and frustrating at the same time when you find a look that you really, really enjoy and it uses the products that you want to use up, which is great because then you're able to use them up, but you use them so much and then you don't want them to be gone. You don't want to use them up anymore. So that I found that really frustrating. I found that with my Industrial Pearl Glide Liner, and now with this look that I'm getting with the Rosy Taupe and MAC Vanilla Pigment, I'm finding how much I really, really enjoy using these products, and I don't want to use them up anymore. So that's really frustrating, but I like this. I like finding what I like in my makeup collection and finding out what really works for me. But I have so much stuff that I don't find that I make as much progress on things, and it's really hard for me to choose things for projects. So I'm trying really hard to balance it all out and put it all together. But again, I'm starting this new job soon, and hopefully I'll have more time to really put towards doing this stuff. So other than, I mean, I'm always wearing makeup, but and I'm always using stuff and trying to use stuff up, but as far as, you know, putting videos together and documenting them and not being all over the place and putting projects together, it's going to be a work in progress continually. So I'm glad you guys have watch this video. If you've watched it all the way to the end, thank you so much. I know it's long, but I will see you guys in my next video. Thank you so much. Bye.